They say women are mysterious, but here's the truth most men never hear. When a woman is deeply in love with you, she often won't show it outright. In fact, sometimes she'll hide it with everything she has. Yes, you heard that right. A woman can be head over heels for you, yet act cold, distant, or even indifferent. Why? Because love makes her feel vulnerable, and vulnerability feels dangerous. This is where most men get trapped. You meet a woman, she lights up around you, but then suddenly pulls back. She avoids eye contact. She's guarded. She gives mixed signals. And you sit there, questioning yourself. Did I do something wrong? Does she even care about me at all? Here's the reality check, my brother. It's not always about what you did. Sometimes it's about what she feels. See, women grow up with an unspoken rule. Never give your heart too easily. She knows the moment she shows you how much she cares, she gives you power, the power to reject her, abandon her, or worse, take her for granted. So she hides it. Behind silence, behind little games, behind excuses. But the feelings, they're still there. And if you don't understand these signals, you'll mistake her love for disinterest. You'll walk away from something real. Or worse, you'll chase, beg, and overinvest, only to lose her respect. That's why in this video, I'm going to break down 6 powerful signs a woman is in love with you, but terrified to show it. I'll give you the female perspective, the psychology behind her behavior, and the roadmap for how you, yes, you, should respond. Because once you see these signs for what they are, the confusion fades. You'll finally understand her walls aren't rejection, they're fear. And before we dive into the 6 signs, let me remind you of this. You're not crazy. You're not imagining things. And if you've ever felt a deep connection with a woman who kept pulling away, this message is for you. Now let's set the stage. Why this happens: love for a woman is not just an emotion. It's a risk. Biologically, women are wired to protect their hearts because choosing the wrong man can lead to emotional devastation. And in today's world, many women carry scars. Past betrayals, abandonment, times they gave their all only to be left broken. So when she meets you, and you awaken feelings in her she didn't expect, she panics. She thinks, what if he doesn't feel the same? What if I lose him? What if I give him everything and he walks away like the others? That fear makes her cautious. Instead of leaning in, she holds back. Instead of confessing, she tests you. Instead of showing love, she hides it under layers of distance. And here's the cruel twist. This very act of protecting herself often confuses the men who care most. So understand this. Her hesitation doesn't always mean disinterest. Sometimes it's the opposite. But you can't afford to misread the game. That's why the next part of this video will uncover the first set of hidden signs, a woman's unspoken language of love when fear holds her back. Stay with me, because once you learn to recognize these, you'll never see women the same way again. Now let's get into the heart of it. Here are the first 3 signs a woman is in love with you, but terrified to show it. Sign 1. Her eyes betray her. You can learn more from a woman's eyes in 2 seconds than from her words in 2 hours. When a woman is secretly in love, she'll often look at you when she thinks you're not watching. Her eyes linger a little too long, scanning your face, memorizing you. But the second you notice, she quickly looks away. It's fear and desire colliding in real time. She wants to drink you in, but she's terrified of being exposed. Think back. Maybe you've caught her staring at you during a conversation with others, only for her to pretend she wasn't. Maybe you felt her gaze burn into you, but when you looked back, she laughed it off like nothing happened. Her eyes are saying what her mouth is too afraid to admit. I want you. But I'm scared you'll see too much. Sign 2, she gets nervous around you. Now pay attention to her body. A woman who's secretly in love but hiding it will often act nervous around you. It shows in small, unpolished ways. She fidgets with her hair. She laughs at things that aren't that funny. She touches her lips or neck when you speak. She stumbles over her words, even though she's normally confident. Why? Because being near you makes her heart race. Her body betrays her composure. Imagine this. You're sitting across from her at a coffee shop. Normally, she's witty, quick, unshakable. But with you? She drops her spoon, fumbles with her phone, interrupts herself mid-sentence. That's not disinterest. That's chemistry she's trying to hide. Her nervousness is proof that you matter more than she wants to admit. Sign 3, she creates distance. Then pulls back. In this one hurts the most for men because it feels like rejection. But it's actually a massive clue. When a woman cares deeply but is scared, she'll push you away. She might suddenly stop texting, take longer to reply, or seem cold in person. And just when you start pulling back, she comes closer again. Why does this happen? Because she's battling herself. One part of her is falling for you. The other part is terrified of losing control. Think of it like waves on a shore. In, out, in, out. Her heart pulls her toward you, but her fear drags her away. Many men misread this as a game. They think she's playing with their emotions. But in reality, it's her defense mechanism. She's scared of being too available, scared of giving you the upper hand. But here's the key. If she didn't feel anything, she wouldn't bother. Indifference is silence. This push and pull means you've touched something deep inside her. And here's where most men lose patience. They chase harder when she pulls back, thinking persistence will win her over. But what actually wins? Calmness. Respecting yourself enough to not chase. Because her distance isn't about your value. It's about her fear. And if you don't react emotionally, she notices. She realizes you're different. You're not like the others who beg for attention. So when you see this hot and cold behavior, don't panic. Recognize it. It's not rejection. It's a silent confession. Now we'll dive into signs 4 through 6, the hidden ways she expresses her love without daring to say it aloud. These are the ones that reveal her deepest conflict. And if you pay attention, they'll tell you everything you need to know. We've already seen the first 3 signs, her eyes, her nervous energy, and her hot and cold behavior. But now let's dig deeper. Because when a woman's in love with you but afraid to show it, her heart leaves other clues, subtle, quiet signals that most men overlook. Here are the last 3 signs. Sign 4. She remembers the smallest details about you. Most men underestimate this one. A woman who's secretly in love doesn't just hear your words, she collects them. She remembers your favorite snack, that story about your childhood dog, the way you hate being interrupted when you're focused. She notices the music you play when you're stressed. She pays attention to the way your tone changes when you talk about family. And here's the twist. She won't always say she remembers. Instead, it slips out. She surprises you with your favorite drink. She brings up something you mentioned weeks ago, something you forgot you told her. She texts you, "Good luck on that meeting," even though you didn't think she was listening. Why does she do this? Because love makes her attentive. Fear may keep her from confessing, but she can't stop herself from caring. She's invested in you in ways she can't hide. Sign 5. She gets jealous without admitting it. This one stings. For her and for you. If a woman is in love but hiding it, watch what happens when another girl enters the picture. She won't outright say, "I'm jealous." Instead, it leaks through subtle reactions. She suddenly gets quiet when you talk about another woman. She teases you, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. She might ask casual questions like, "So, who was that girl?" pretending it's harmless curiosity. Her body language changes, crossed arms, tense shoulders, a fake laugh that feels forced. And here's the irony, she doesn't want to be jealous. She doesn't want you to know how much she cares. So she masks it with jokes, sarcasm, or silence. But beneath that, her heart is screaming, "Don't leave me. Don't give someone else what I want so badly." Most men miss this because they're too focused on her words, but her tone, her pauses, her sudden distance, they tell the real story. Sign 6. She finds reasons to be near you, without admitting why. This is one of the biggest giveaways. When a woman loves you but hides it, she'll invent little excuses to be around you. It won't always be obvious. Sometimes it's disguised as coincidence. She just happens to be where you are. She asks for your help with small things she could easily do herself. She lingers in your space longer than necessary, even if she acts like it's no big deal. Think about it. She texts, "Hey, can you help me with this?" When you know she's more than capable. She shows up at the same events, claiming she was just invited by a friend. She keeps conversations going longer than they need to be, like she doesn't want the moment to end. That's not random. That's her heart pulling her toward you, even when her fear tells her to run the other way. Because deep down, being near you feels safe, even if she can't admit it out loud. Now, put all 6 signs together. The lingering looks, the nervous energy, the push and pull, the little details, the quiet jealousy, and her excuses to be near you. Individually, they might look like nothing, but combined, they paint a clear picture. A woman can bury her words, she can silence her confessions, but her behavior, it betrays her every time. And here's where we shift gears. Because understanding these signs is only half the battle. The real question is, what do you do when you recognize them? Do you chase harder? Do you demand she admit it? Or do you rise above the fear and flip the entire dynamic? That's where we're heading next. By now, you know the truth. You've seen the signs, you've felt the tension, and maybe, right now, you're thinking of a woman who fits every one of these patterns. Her eyes, her nervousness, her push and pull, the details she remembers, the jealousy she hides, the excuses she makes to be near you. You see it all, but she never says it. And that silence, it eats at you. You wonder, if she cares, why can't she just admit it? Why do I feel like I'm left hanging, carrying all the weight? Brother, hear me when I say this. Your pain is real. You're not crazy. You're not imagining things. And you're not weak for wanting clarity. But here's the harsh truth. If you chase her confessions, you lose your power. Because love that's dragged out of someone is never real love. Think about the times you've overextended yourself. Times you bent over backwards for a girl, hoping she'd finally open up, only to be met with silence, distance, or mixed signals. You stayed awake at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying every word, every text, every glance. You doubted yourself. You wondered what was wrong with you, but it was never about your worth. It was about her fear. And when you take on the burden of proving yourself, you shift the balance of power. You make her fear bigger than your self-respect. That's why most men lose in this situation. They try to earn her love instead of letting her step into it on her own. So here's the shift. When you recognize the signs, don't chase, don't beg, don't demand an answer. Instead, do the opposite. Hold your silence, stay calm, level up your life, your goals, your purpose. Because the moment you stop chasing her approval, something powerful happens. She feels it. She realizes you're not like the others who crumble under her hesitation. She sees you respecting yourself, and that respect forces her to look at her own fear. In that silence, her love grows louder. In that distance, her regret starts to bloom. And that's when the game flips. She starts to wonder, what if I lose him? What if he moves on? What if my fear costs me the very man I want? You don't need to prove anything. Your strength, your focus, your calmness, that's what makes her confront her feelings. So here's the takeaway. If a woman is in love with you but scared to show it, you don't force her hand. You don't drown yourself in confusion or waste years waiting for her courage to show up. You stand tall, you keep moving forward, and you let her meet you at your level, or watch as you outgrow her fear. because your life isn't about convincing someone to love you. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't beg for what he deserves. Remember this: real love doesn't hide forever. When she's ready, she'll show it. And if she doesn't, then she was never meant to hold your heart in the first place. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed these signs in a woman but felt like she was holding back? Which sign hit closest to home for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's share experiences, let's learn from each other, and let's keep building the strength to never lose ourselves chasing love. Because at the end of the day, remember this one truth: the right woman doesn't make you doubt. She makes you certain.